Good morning. Friday morning.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's the weekend.
Is it just me or are these weeks flying by?
Oh my gosh. It was just Monday. And now it's Friday.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. We just jumped on here live. We didn't actually schedule this, so I thought we'd see if there's a difference.
Yeah. And I kind of looked at Drew right when he was pushing live, and I'm like, what are we talking about?
And I said, no idea.
So it's the random show.
Usually we pick a topic anyways. And we pick a topic and we don't rarely get to the topic because we have questions, which we love, and it's a good chance to connect with you guys, so I don't think it really matters.
That's right. I think, though, this morning, maybe we could talk a little bit about sleep habits, morning routines. We talk a lot about morning routines, but I think it's super important. And I also thought that we could share some of the things that we do. Some of the products we are using in the morning, some of the recipes and things like that.
I'm just setting up Instagram here. If you guys are watching here in the replay, let us know if you're watching in the replay, because that's always good to know if you guys are checking out the show after, because we always see, or we can see the number of people watching. Can't really tell if you're watching unless you say something, but I always appreciate knowing where you're watching from. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's always nice if you say, hey, I'm tuning in from Olds, or I'm tuning in from Edmonton, or we've had people tuning in from Germany, all over. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, in keeping it real, I think that we should talk a little bit about our sleep last night.
Okay.
Keeping it real. We talk a lot about how sleep affects our performance and our mood and our day, and how it's important to have a good evening routine so that you get a good night's sleep, so that you have a successful day. But we are human too. Things happen, and sometimes we get a rotten sleep. And I think last night was one of those nights. And it's funny because we have a little story for you.
Do we? We got Vanda over here on Instagram.
Hey, Vanda.
Morning,
Good morning.
Vanda, I miss you. We miss you.
I miss Vanda too. But I'm super happy that we can still talk to her on Instagram and then on Messenger. So that's nice. But we miss you, Vanda, in the group.
Okay, so what's the story that you want to share? I'm going to share, while you're talking there, I'm going to share our live on a couple other pages.
Okay. So basically, he's telling me he's not going to be listening to what I'm saying.
I always listen to you. Very good listening. Okay, go. I won't do it.
Okay. Well, it's not like a super duper exciting story, but I thought some of you might be able to relate a little bit. So we have been dog sitting Lucky for about a week. And Lucky is a very energetic dog, which we like. We're very active people. But he brings it above and beyond. And he decided that last night he was going to have a little party in the middle of the night. And he did not allow us to sleep. So we go to bed early, as you know, because our morning routine, we get up at 5 every morning. A lot of people, that's a jaw dropper for them. 5? Get up at 5? But yes, every morning we get up at 5. Doesn't matter if it's what day of the week it is. Weekends too. 5 a.m. We're up. Anyway, where I was going with that is we choose to go to bed early because we're up at 5. So, 8:45, we're settling into bed and looks like a good night. We did an evening meditation. We read our books. We shut out the lights. Lucky's sleeping on his pillow. All is good. All is wonderful. And then 1 a.m. comes around. Lucky thinks it's time to get up. And Lucky's pacing around, and he's scratching and cleaning himself and jumping on the bed. He jumped on my head. What else?
He's kind of like he reminds me of a potbelly pig. I don't mean like a pig, like he reminds me like a pig, like in that mean type of way. I mean, I have family members that had a farm and they had like a pet pig almost. Didn't actually live in the house, but anyways, he kind of snorts and he scratches and he's a loud individual. And what's funny is you have when you're looking after a pet like this or Yeah, they kind of grow on you.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. You might be able to hear him now. He's like
Going to town.
He's making some noise right now, but they kind of grow on you, and you kind of like those little things that might annoy you at first. You start to enjoy them, and then when they're gone, like we'll miss that.
We'll miss them.
So, but it's tough because you don't get your regular sleep, and I think it's if you're looking after someone else's pet, for example, it's out of their norm too. Like they're probably not not many people are in bed by 9 o'clock.
Right.
So I think that like for someone like Lucky, for example, he probably thought it was like the middle of the night, and then he got up. It's like, well, I've already been sleeping for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Time to get up. So it's the middle of the night, and we're like in the middle of our sleep, and then you have to get up at like 12, 1, and then like 3 in the morning.
He was up again.
So it's a bit of a challenge, but I think that like for us to be able to share that with you, as Dorothy mentioned, like we talk about like we're real people, and everyone deals with things, but like we're still up and we still having our breakfast and we're still working. Like this is our work.
Believe it or not, hanging out with you guys.
Like,
we don't see it as work, but it is, right? We show up, we're here, and it's a lot to do with attitude as well. I'm actually reading this cool book. It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and I know that's kind of like a cliche kind of sentence, but anyway, and one of the things in there was about your attitude. Like you could hold on to that, oh my gosh, I had a horrible sleep, and let that travel with you and be with you for the whole day. Or you could just leave it where it is, right? You can just say, yeah, had a bad sleep, but here I am moving on and gonna like just let it be in the past. Because I could, like, for example, you could go to work and tell coworkers, oh my gosh, I had the worst sleep, this dog, blah, and go on and on and on about it. Or just leave it in the past where it is and just continue on your day like you always do. And so that's kind of an adjustment, like an attitude change, I suppose, that we don't have to let those, just because we had a horrible sleep doesn't mean that we have to have a horrible day.
Yeah, and what I was going with that is before Dorothy so rudely cut me off.
Oh yeah, so rude. Maybe a little aggressive. Hey, Vanda.
We had a good laugh. I don't even know. It wasn't too long ago. It was like 2 or 3 days ago. We had a good laugh about that. Like someone was like being like non-aggressive, and we're like, don't get aggressive, like Vanda. Those of you that we know Vanda for years, and those of you, it's kind of an inside joke because Vanda's the
least aggressive person you'll ever meet.
You'll ever meet.
And
she had like a conversation with someone in her life, and they called her aggressive. Don't get aggressive, Vanda. It was so funny. Like it was such a ridiculous remark. So we laugh about that now in our lives.
A couple days ago, Vanda, it came up. I don't know. And we're like, don't be aggressive. And then it made us think of you, Vanda.
So Vince says, oh.
Move the car, Drew.
Then move the car.
I already checked the car. So most of you probably have heard on our morning shows that we have to move the car depending on the day. If it's a Thursday or Friday, they sweep the streets. So that's what that alarm was. But we already did that.
We did.
Good.
Yeah.
Good team. So I would just like to say
I'm sorry.
that I got up at our regular time at 5 a.m. and Mr. Drew had a little sleepy in.
I wasn't. You slept better than I did.
Oh, you're not to judge that.
I wanted to say before I got cut off again. I wanted to say that things come up in life. Like we all have things. Like we all have issues or reasons not to get up on time or not to get up early, or not to have breakfast or get your workout in. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Like I think sometimes, maybe not you guys listening, but people are like, oh, I'm too busy to get my workout in, or I didn't sleep well, so I'm not going to have breakfast. But these things always come up in life, so we have to understand, like, you still have to do the things that you do to be healthy and to be strong and keep your immune system strong and improve your digestion, whatever it is that we're talking about, regardless of your sleep or your day or being aggressive. And we still have to do these things to continue living the healthy lifestyle we want to.
the day's coming no matter what we do. And no matter what our emotions are or what state we're in, the day is coming. So it's our choice whether of the outcome of the day, whether that's going to be a good day or a bad day. That's our own choice. So it's our perspective and how we handle it, how we handle different situations. And I wanted to say one thing about the snooze button. You're a snooze button hitter sometimes, right? You like a little extra 5 minutes or so to, how do you say it, progressively get up. But me, I am not a fan of the snooze button because I don't, many people disagree with me on this, but it's okay. But I don't feel like it's beneficial in any way. Like, if your alarm goes off at 5, like ours, get up! And, like, hitting, just 5 more minutes. Just another snooze. It's just delaying the process. Just get up and get going. And that's just my opinion. That's what works best for me, is just to get up and get going. Now, Drew is a snooze hitter. Anybody else a snooze button hitter?
I'd like to clarify my snooze button. I'll hit the snooze button maybe one time. I'm not like a snooze button hitter that takes me like 45 minutes to get up.
No.
So, but Dorothy, like, usually...
Two times.
Dorothy usually, like... Sorry, guys, on Instagram we lost connection. So I shut it off and started again. Got Sheila over here and
Hey, Sheila!
Sheila, I added you on Facebook to our 7-day reboot. Did you get that? Let us know, because you should be in that private group. Our rebooted first live was yesterday. Yeah, so Dorothy, like, pops up and is usually, like this, full tilt, 100%. And it takes me, like, a little bit to get going. So I think that there isn't anything wrong with that. I just feel like when you say he's a snooze hitter, that some people, like, sit there and hit snooze for, like, an hour. Like,
And we must say that if you can put your alarm to something more soothing, that's going to be helpful too, in our opinions. So we put our alarm to some nice soft music, so it's not like, bam, get up.
Yeah, and you know what's really nice? That, okay, I'm not like a huge technology guy. I think that technology ruins a lot of things about our civilization. But
let's not talk about that today.
We'll get into that. Oh, got it. Sheila said I got it. So
awesome.
Good. Thanks for letting us know, Sheila. We have this. I have a couple different. We won this Alexa home.
Amazon Alexa.
So Dorothy won that at this volleyball competition.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell that story yet.
Okay, don't tell that story yet.
So anyways, I set the alarm for 5. So I say, Alexa, set the alarm, and every time we say her name, she's like, huh? But I say, Alexa, set the alarm for 5 a.m. to morning music, and that's all it takes. And I think it's pretty cool. So we don't need to have a phone next to your bed. We actually have an old school alarm clock, but that old school alarm clock is like, and it's so miserable to get up to. So, but I really like the music because you put some kind of music on, and it slowly kind of gets loud and wakes you up. And it starts
super soft, and then it gets a little bit louder and louder.
And then it's nice music to wake up to. It's like happy music instead of like you're like miserable to get up and yeah, because it's something like ah. Anyways, that's my story.
I like getting up.
Okay, we got a bunch of comments. Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of comments here. Sheila says, I have an alarm that mimics the sunrise.
Ooh.
Found it helpful for me. Tell us about that, Sheila.
Oh.
You know what? So we're like right now in LA, we're super fortunate because the sun comes up early, and maybe in Alberta, where a lot of you are, it comes up early as well. But I always wanted one of those lights that maybe you're talking about, Sheila, that like slowly comes on, like the music you're talking about, and it slowly comes on, and it gets like brighter and brighter until it's fully on, and then I think you can compare, like, match music up to that as well.
But we had a roommate a few years ago that had one like this, and it would even go down at bedtime.
Yeah.
So it would start to get, because especially in Alberta, in the winters we don't get much sunlight, right, or much daylight. I suppose is pretty short, so it would mimic the sunset as well, so that when it was getting close to bedtime, it would get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and eventually go out.
Yeah,
same as sunrise. So we've talked about those lights before, so we're interested.
Sheila says that's the one. Awesome. What's the name brand of that, Sheila? I think I might invest. Okay, Vince says, good morning. What's for breakfast?
It is peanut butter banana oatmeal. Yum. Drew, why don't you grab the recipe?
Oh,
why did you look at me so funny?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just looking at you.
He had a strange look to me.
Do we have it on the True Farm page? If you guys ever have...
It's mine, right?
If you guys ever looking for a recipe on the True Form page, all you have to do is type in, like, go to, I know most people are on their phones, but if you're on a computer, you go to trueformlife.com, hit a space, and then you type in what you're looking for. So all I'm hitting is oatmeal, and a bunch of oatmeal recipes are going to pop up. Dorothy and I have so many recipes on this website, we have forgotten how many recipes are on there. This one?
Peanut butter banana oatmeal. Yes. So we'll drop that link in the comments for you, so if you'd like to try it. We created these oatmeal recipes. We have quite a few. We have peanut butter oatmeal. We have peaches and cream. We have apple cinnamon. But we created these recipes so that you can move away if you are used to or accustomed to like the packages of instant oatmeal that you just throw in a bowl, put water, and put in the microwave.
I can't see you.
We want... Oh, he screen shared. Now he can't see me and I'm talking. But anyway, we created these recipes so you can move away from those, because a lot of times they're full of sugars and toxins and other unwanted things that we don't want to be putting in our body. So that's kind of where we created peanut butter oatmeal, peaches and cream oatmeal. But Drew dropped the link into the comments, right?
I sure did. So those of you watching on Instagram, we're actually showing our screen of where you can find the recipes. And then we're going to can't do it on Instagram, but we're dropping the actual link so you can click on it and search it easier. Mm-hmm. If you like. I'll find that one coming up. All right, lots of comments here. Thanks for the comments, guys.
Yes, thanks, guys. And if you are enjoying the show, be sure to hit that hearts button.
We have 0.
We've got a laughing face and 6 thumbs up. We could do better, guys.
Vince says...
Suzanne says, good morning. Good morning, Suzanne.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Vince says, had my normal peanut butter and banana sandwich with the smoothie. Nice.
Vince is rocking everything. I love seeing...
Rocking life!
Yeah, he is. I feel like, I'm like, yes, Vince, go get him. And I see Vince's posts, and I think I can tell when Vince is, like, extra inspired, when it seems like he's usually, like, a normal inspired, right?
He's, like, normal inspired, but then it's, like, Vince inspired.
Yeah. So he's like, get his magnesium going. Oh, we got to get you set up with CTP, Vince. I think we have a bag at the CLC that you can go buy and grab. So I'll let you know today or tomorrow for sure. Maybe you can remind me, Dorothy.
I'll try to remind you.
Dorothy says, wake up.
Dorothy says. Vince says, wake up, get up, and get going with the day. That's right.
I could see that.
Totally.
Vince would be like, bing!
Yep.
Ready to go? Who's coming with me?
And Vince has a quite a well-established morning routine as well. And I think, Vince, if you're still in here, let us know. Is it 4:30 you get up? I think Vince gets up at 4:30 in the morning.
You maniac.
And he does his morning routine, including exercising, stretching, working out, all that good stuff. But I think you said in another show, Vince, that you go to bed at 7. But I think it's so interesting. And we actually just listened yesterday to a couple of morning routines of celebrities, right?
Well, Mark Wahlberg is well known for his... I think he goes to bed at 7 and gets up at 2:30 in the morning.
No, I think it was 3 something.
Oh, 3:30?
Not that it's big difference, 2 or 3.
But he's crazy. That crazy work ethic. And it's interesting. I just did a radio show on riding the motivation wave, and I mentioned some of this topics, but it's crazy to me how people like. I think a lot of people think like, oh, like they're a celebrity. It's easy for them to do this, or maybe it's easy for them to get up. Maybe they're like a morning person. Like I was never a morning person. I was always an evening person until I became a morning person. But like someone like Mark Wahlberg, for example, he works extremely hard from when he wakes up till when he goes to sleep. Of course, he's super successful, but I don't think we don't match up the hard work. Like we don't match up like someone like that like gets up super early and grinds it out every single day, every minute of the day until he falls asleep. And he says he's so tired by the end of the day. He's like, I don't have a problem falling asleep at 7. So yeah, probably fall asleep at 6. But if you work hard, you're gonna see results in your life. And I think sometimes that is missing.
When we actually talked about adjusting our day, our routine, to wake up a little bit earlier, and Drew's like, but then we'd have to go to bed at like 8 p.m. And I'm looking like, there's no problem with that for me. I could go to sleep at 8 p.m.
Dorothy's a person that could go to sleep super early. It's a bit more challenging for me, but... Okay, we got a Vanda over here that says, say hi to Vince for me. So, Vanda says hi. We have Lorraine in here. Good morning, Lorraine.
Good morning, Lorraine.
You want to read Jessica's?
Yeah, Jessica says, I agree. If I hit the snooze button, it's harder to get motivated throughout my day. When it's time to get up, it's time to get up. That's right.
All right.
It's so true. It just kind of delays the process. And then I feel like it's like in delay throughout, like dragging my butt all day. That's what the snooze button does. You guys hear Lucky?
Lucky's
sitting behind
snorting
us.
away.
He's snorting and licking. And...
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I think that getting up around 5 for me makes the day more, more inspired, more motivating. Because if it's the weekend or if it's like if we don't sleep particularly well and we sleep until 6 or whatever, I don't feel as motivated or as energized throughout the day. Mm-hmm. I feel like I almost feel lethargic. And I think when we talk about sleep, I think we have to understand that everyone needs a bit different sleep. Right. But someone that says, I only need 4 hours of sleep probably doesn't know what it feels like to function on 7 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. I think we need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. But if I get 8 plus, like 8.5 hours of sleep, I feel like the rest of my day is like, I can't wake up. Mm-hmm. Lucky, can you stop that, please? Lucky's going down on her toes.
Going crazy. I think she may, I don't know. Maybe she has a little, she's like licking and I don't know, maybe she's uncomfortable a little bit. I don't know what her deal is.
We got Darcy in here. Morning, Darcy.
Hey, Darcy.
Thanks for joining us.
Vince says, I don't believe in the snooze. Oh, you pulled that over already. I don't believe in the snooze button. Get up and rock the day. That's right, Vince. I just love Vince's positivity.
Vince says, here's the recipe I threw up there. You guys can click on that recipe if you like.
We missed a few.
I don't think we did.
No? Vince says, I don't have an alarm. Wake up at 4 every day and get moving. Wow, that's pretty
4 a.m.
awesome that your body wakes up naturally at 4.
Time to go to sleep.
We should try, Drew, if we would naturally wake up at 5. We've never really tried. I don't think I would.
You know what's interesting? When we were getting up around 6, I would just naturally get up at 6.
Yeah.
Maybe even sometimes 5:30 I'm okay with. I'm just kind of up. What time is it? If we don't set an alarm on the weekend. But 5, for some reason, I don't know why. 5 is a bit of a challenge. We've been doing it for a while. Yeah, but we've been doing it for a while now. But 5 still takes me a few extra minutes when probably 5:30 I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much sleep I get. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of odd. Anyways.
Vince says, I already read that one.
Vince says, hi, Vanda. There you go, Vanda.
Vanda, Vince says hi.
The middle one. Do you guys have any other messages we can share? We'll just be the middle people. Darcy says, I need to get at least 6 hours. 10 hours is the best. Oh my gosh, 10 hours of sleep. Well, everyone needs some different hours of sleep, but whatever you need.
I could probably sleep for 10.
Dorothy could probably sleep for 10.
I'm a pretty good sleeper. Yeah.
I've never been able to sleep that long.
Yeah. But, usually we get 7 hours. 7.5 hours is usually what we get. I like 8, but it doesn't always work out.
When I was a kid, I didn't really sleep at all. I shouldn't say that. I didn't sleep at all. I never really slept in. Even when I was a bit older, when you get in your teenage years and you stay up late, I was always a person that was kind of up early. I never really slept till like 10, 11. You know, some teachers.
Noon? 1?
Huh?
Noon?
No. I'm saying I didn't sleep till 10, 9 or 10. So that means 9 or 10, anything after.
No, I know that, but for me, when I was a teenager, I slept a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have some friends that could sleep till like 12, 1.
I would.
Like, you'd call them, be like, hey, you want to go do something? They're like, I'm sleeping. Why are you calling me? I'm like, because it's time to get up. We got Shauna in here. Good morning from me and Max. Good morning, guys. Are you guys making some? I love your pictures of when you guys do CTP cookies or muffins. Shauna, are you guys going to do that today? And Suzanne, what's Suzanne got going on?
For some reason, I can't see the post today, and I am not sure you're getting mine.
Not sure what you mean, Suzanne. We are here, and we can see you. I can see your comments. So you might be checking a different thread. We've shared this on a number of different pages. So, Suzanne, go to the True Form page. And that's where the mainstream is going. The rest are just shared, so we don't always get comments that are commented on other groups or pages. Mm-hmm. Shauna Vanda says, so Shauna, Vince and Vanda are talking back and forth a bit. So mm-hmm. Vanda's not on Facebook. She's on Instagram. So now Vanda says hi to Shauna and Max. So those of you that aren't exactly sure what's going on, is that these guys have met in our monthly membership group, and they have been communicating, and I think I'd imagine they'd call each other friends. So we have our monthly membership group that we've been doing for just over 3 years now, and we have different people that join our group and enjoy what we do in our community and that we've built, and it's really amazing. So it's so cool when we get to see you guys communicate with one another and talk with one another and form your own different types of relationships. So within that membership group, we do fitness routines and meal planning and workouts, and then I suppose the relationships and then the support that's above and beyond what other people might offer.
That's my favorite part about our monthly membership is the friendships that are created, because most often when we are struggling to find success, it's because a lack of a positive environment or support that plays such a big role in our success. So that's why it was important for Drew and I to create an environment, create a community where you could have that a supportive environment. And it's so cool for us to see people who don't know each other, who join our monthly membership, don't know each other, but over the years or over time have become good friends.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My favorite part.
There's something I wanted to mention, but I lost it.
Susan's in here. Hey, Sue.
Morning, Sue. And then, so Sheila over here says, does age have anything to do with it? Used to be up at it early. Now now in my 50s, I struggle even after 9 hours. Yeah, I think I don't know, like, I struggle with age. I think that, I don't mean you in particular, Sheila. I think that as a society, we put age above and beyond anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting older, so I should be less active. Or I'm getting older, I should be in less good a shape, for example. And I feel like some of the things, like, Dorothy and I, like, we try to achieve, like, different things in, like, different years. And as we get older, I feel like we achieve more. Mm-hmm. And not just, like, mentally or emotionally, but physically. Like, Dorothy's last or half marathon, for example, she did it fantastically and didn't, and, like, the next day she went out and ran. When she was younger,
I wouldn't have it.
and before, like, she wasn't in that position. Like, her body didn't feel that good. And for me, of course, I've never been this old as I am in this moment. And
this is the oldest you've ever been right now.
And I've been able to run. Longer distances, faster. I can do handstands. I taught myself a front flip a year or two ago. So I feel like sometimes, and I know you're not saying this, Sheila, I'm just throwing this out there. I feel like sometimes we're like, oh, because of age, we have limitations. So I'm always weary to say something happens because of age. I think that there could be other things in our lives, like maybe we have more stress in our life, maybe our body's going through different changes. We know that from women, so that could have something to do with it. But that doesn't mean that that should be a set limitation. But it could be different daily habits, and it could be that maybe our body just needs a bit more sleep at this time in our lives. But I feel like in most cases, something doesn't happen because we're getting older, and we should kind of accept that.
Mm-hmm. You can say menopause. It's not like a bad word. Women's bodies go through changes.
I don't know.
You can say menopause.
I'm a man. I don't know if that's acceptable. You know what's funny is I always thought it was menopause.
Menopause?
I thought it MEDA. And I was like doing some research on it. I'm like, what is this menopause women are always talking about? It's a couple years ago.
A couple of years ago?
I was researching it. Well, I thought it
was, okay, gotcha.
I didn't think it was menopause. Like I'm talking meta, because mena and meta sound the same.
Okay.
It's menopause.
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 Anyway, that got out of control.
I don't know if you're supposed to be talking about these things. Like, don't you? You know, like sometimes can you say like when women? What do you say when women are having their time of the month? How do you say that?
You can say a variety of different things.
Okay, well, what's politically correct?
PMS. Monthly cycle, their period. There's all kinds of creative ones too, like on flows and down.
Oh my gosh!
There's all kinds of like crazy creative ones.
Okay, so what I'm getting at with the menopause thing, like sometimes when it's like a woman's time of the month, and you're like, and a man would be like, "Oh, is it your time of the month?" Like, just because I'm not in the best mood doesn't always mean it's my time of the month. So you're like, never really know.
Drew's always so confused with like
never really know what to
emotions
do.
and hormones. Like Drew's like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know where to look. I don't know what to say. I'm like, this is gonna be bad. It's like a lose-lose situation. You know, Darcy's laughing over. You know what I'm talking about, Darcy?
But the thing is, like with men, like. In those situations, the best thing to do is just say nothing.
No, but you can't win. Because then you're like, then women are like, you're not even talking to me. Why aren't you talking to me? I'm like, oh my gosh. I can't say anything. I can't not say anything.
Just admit that it sucks. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know that this sucks for you.
Katie called it Shark Week.
Shark Week!
Well, you have an essential oil called Dragon Time.
One of my essential oils, is called Dragon Time, and it's specifically for PMS, like for that time of the month. But I actually went to essential oils workshop, and it was about essential oils for helping with hormonal balance and things. Anyway, but we made a roller, and we called that roller Shark Week. What do we call it? Not Shark Week.
That was a complete lie. She just made that up.
Shark something. Where is my shark roller? I think it was called Shark Week. Anyway.
I don't know. Okay, we got Sean. Omit that story from your memory. Shauna says...
From your memory.
Max and I were just talking about that. CTP muffins are on the agenda.
Yay!
Yes. If
I want to see pictures.
If anyone needs a CTP recipe or a muffin recipe, let us know. Vince says, we're getting older but better, like fine wine. I always say that. You know what I always say? I'm in my prime. I tell people all that. Because when I was younger, we'd always talk about that being in your prime in your athletic career. So people would say, like, I have some friends still from college that, like, we kind of, like, bicker back and forth. And then I always say, I'm in my prime.
And another thing that Drew and I always say to each other is we're, like, this many years young, as opposed, you know?
Yeah. Katie says, that. I've started menopause. It's awful.
Aww. See, and then you say, "Oh, Katie, that sucks."
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Right?
Let me try. I'm sorry to hear that, Katie. At least you spelt it right.
Yeah.
I think you meant to write menopause, Katie.
I don't know if my mom's in here. I don't think she is. But I remember as a teen, well, like in my later part of high school, And I was like, what the heck is wrong with my mother? Like, she is going like batty. But then I started, like, I saw like little pamphlets. How to deal with menopause, like laying around the house, or like literature and books, and I'm like, oh, she's going through the change. So,
yeah, but how would you know what it is?
Because I'm a woman.
You're a kid.
Yeah, but we have like sex ed and puberty classes at school. They tell us about these things.
Sheila says, I'm off to the gym. Have a great day.
Have a good workout, Sheila.
Sheila will see. Sheila, did you watch the live that we did in our 7-day reboot challenge? Watch it. We released our 7-day meal plan. It's exciting.
I'm super excited. Yeah.
If anyone else wants to join our 7-day reboot, it doesn't actually start till Monday, but we're prepping everyone this week, so get in there.
So at the 7-day reboot challenge, we are giving you a little snippet or a little crash course, I suppose you could say, with nutrition and exercise, and we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of different information. And we just released the meal plan, 7-day meal plan yesterday, and we actually did a live explaining the meal plan and our success pyramids. So we've created a true form success pyramid, actually, that we went over in our live video to show people how to get the optimal success rate when you are working towards a healthy lifestyle. So we went over that, and we also talked about CTP last night a little bit too. So if you aren't in the 7-day reboot challenge, if you're not in that group and you'd like to be, we'd love for you to join us. It doesn't cost anything to join the group.
So this is our success pyramid I just pulled up here. Those of you on Instagram, you won't be able to see it, but we went over this. We're not going to go over it today, but we went over it, and this is through our successes or through our work with individuals. So it starts at the first tier of our 70 people.
70%.
Thank you. So, can you look down? Look down at it. 70% of people start at this tier where they're inconsistent with their work, with their workouts, with their meal plans. What are you doing?
I was trying to make it go down, but you can't.
Oh my gosh. You gotta put your hands up higher. They can't see your hands. Oh my gosh. You're completely ruining my point. Dorothy does this often. She's always ruining my stuff.
I'll make it better.
So it starts at the first tier where 70% of people begin with us. Or they come to us and they're like, I have gas, bloating, indigestion, inconsistency with meal plans and workouts. Then we get into like the learning part of how smoothies can change. Only 15% of people get there. It's kind of sad if you look at the percentages.
Yeah.
But they're real, and we want you guys to be like, I want to be in that 15 percentile. I want to be in that 10 percentile. Then you get to smoothies, meal plan, and workout. This is where we found the most results with the people that we're working for. So, so that's why we put this pyramid together, and we wanted to show you guys where we found our success and how we teach you to find your success as well.
And the pyramid was, Drew and I have done a lot of work in a lot of different groups over the years, and these percentages were pulled from working with those people, right? So with everybody, it wasn't just like made up percentages.
No.
It's based on our work.
Well, it's funny that like we've been doing these groups for years. Like when I first started, we did like a vegan challenge, 10-day vegan challenge.
Oh, that's where
Amanda came from. But we've been doing them for years. We've done free challenges, 10-day challenges, 21-day challenges, smoothie challenges, digestion challenges. So we know exactly what it's like to work with different individuals. And everyone's, like you can put most people within that pyramid and find their success. And it's so clear. Like if you're going to do these things, this is what you find. Mm-hmm. And when you start, we ask people, like they're confused, don't know where to start, don't know where to go. And then so that's why we've broken it down into a pyramid. Dave says, that's why we can't have nice things, Dorothy.
I missed it. I don't know what it is.
I didn't think you'd get it. I got it, Dave. Dorothy doesn't understand that our humor sometimes.
Well, tell me.
I can't explain it. Dave, you explain it.
Like, is it relating to the menopause thing?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't know how you politically correctly explain that, Dave.
Maybe it's for another time.
You're up. This is talking about menopause. Sue says, my kids thought I was just weirder than normal.
They occasionally just hide.
That's a great idea. Thank you for sharing that, Sue.
Just go hide! I'm not going through menopause, though.
Dorothy, I guess, well, what about the...
See, Drew gets like, what about the,
What about the Shark Week?
Hide! Save yourself! You know what's funny with me is that, like, you know it's coming every month. You know. But
Dorothy doesn't
every
know.
month it's like a shock to me. Like, I don't know why I'm so emotional. Why am I crying?
Do any of you ladies write it down? Can you share that with us? Is that
I used
okay
to,
question?
but I don't anymore.
I'm not asking you. You don't. Do any of you write it down? Because Dorothy will get like emotional, and she'll be like, I don't know why, like, is it your digestion or like something like.
Well, it's aches, right? Like your hips ache, and then you get the cramping and all that. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. What's going on?
So that's coming, and Dorothy's like emotional, and then she's like a bit whiny like that. And I'm like, do you think maybe it's like that Shark Week? Dragon time? And she's like, I think it is. And I'm like
a shock to me.
I'm like, if you wrote it down, you would know, like, around when it comes, right? So we always go through this, like, every month. It's like, why don't you write that down?
I said, why don't you write it down?
I was like, I'm going to start writing it down so I know when to
so when I know when to hide.
Oh, it's time to play hide and seek. Who wants to play hide and seek, guys? Okay, let's see what we got here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Amanda said, I wanted to share that I might possibly have a job at the farmer's market.
Ooh.
Can we say dream job surrounded by fruits and veggies?
That's awesome, Amanda.
Awesome, Vanda. That's super exciting. Actually, Dorothy and I kind of talked like, oh, Dorothy's like, maybe I should get like a job at the farmer's market so I could be there all the time. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great idea. Let me get some veggies.
Yeah, I was like, maybe they don't even have to pay me. They can just give me fruits and veggies instead.
We would work for food.
I would work for food. Farmer's market food.
And then Vanda says, first met you at a 14-day detox. That must have been the first one, though. But I did a vegan one after that. Awesome. And then Darcy says, is that why Dorothy doesn't like the ocean? I missed that. Because it's Shark Week? She would be the shark in the ocean. Everyone would be running out of the ocean. Oh, okay.
I have been swimming, though, guys. Is it 3 times? I went swimming 3 times.
Dorothy's good, too. Like, she has, like, some of those confident issues that I think everyone has. But she's pretty good. Like, she was only, like, the second time we're in. And she's, like, swimming. And then I was, like, we don't go in too deep. So I was, like, kind of walking and swimming. And she's just going. And I'm, like, then I had to actually jump in and, like, swim. Like, I can swim pretty well. So I actually had to, like, swim, like, try to catch up with her. Because she was, like, just going. And I'm like, where are you going?
I don't know. I'm just going. And, what was I going to say? Oh, I was just going to say I don't want to go over my head yet. So we don't go out too far. But we have to go past, like, the crash zone to swim. So
Can you tell them what the crash zone is?
I never, like, would go in far. Just to, like, my ankles or my knees. And Drew's always like, you're standing right where the waves are crashing. You're in the crash zone. And I'm like, what the heck is he talking about? I'm like, I'm staying here, thanks. But if you go out, like, you know, before the waves crash, how can I explain it?
Well, okay, well, most of you guys those of you that aren't around an ocean, you know, or those of you, okay. There's an area on the beach where the waves always crash. So the waves like slowly build up, they come up, and then they crash closer to the shore. So just like past your ankles, you go out like a little bit further, like around your knee level. And usually that's where like the waves are like crashing when they hit the beach. So Dorothy feels the most comfortable standing there for some reason. But like that's the roughest part of unless the waves are a bit bigger. But in LA, the waves aren't like, they're not like past 10 feet. In most cases, they're like 5 feet. They're not big at all. Like I've been to Hawaii a number of times, and the waves are huge there. But the waves aren't very big. but they still come when they crash down. So Dorothy will often, because she's scared to go out, was scared to go out further, she's standing right where they crash. So she's like, she's like, this is so uncomfortable. I'm like, move from the crash zone. So then you have to swim out past where it crashes, and then just on the other side of where they crash, which isn't very deep at all or very far, that's where you can actually swim. Lucky.
And I never liked, I still am a little uncomfortable with this, but when the water, like, is in my face. So, like, getting past the crash zone was really hard for me because the waves are, like, crashing on your face. So, right when I'm swimming right now, so gotta keep my head up.
I'm okay with that. Like, for me, I've been swimming for years. Like, I don't mind swimming. I like swimming, like, what do you call that one?
Breaststroke.
I thought the breaststroke was this one.
Oh, I'm pretty sure this is breaststroke.
Do you guys know?
Do you guys know?
I like this one here. I like that one because my head's up and like my eyes don't get in the water and then you get salt water in your eyes. Like I'll swim like this all day. But like if you're trying to get somewhere fast, I'll do the front stroke.
Front crawl.
Front crawl?
I took swim lessons.
Sue says, I'm proud of you, Dorothy.
Oh, thanks, Sue. It was a lot. It was all mental. Well, with a lot of fears, right? We're all fears. It was just getting past that.
It's mental.
That mental part and building the confidence. And
with most fears.
When the first time was, of course, the hardest, but I didn't want to leave too much time in between my swims because then I would be letting that fear build up again. So we went 2 days were back to back, I think.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days in between for the third one. But the third time, it was just so much easier just to get in. Because usually I would take forever just to get in.
Yeah, she's been doing really well with getting in before it take like 20 minutes. And I'm like, you just got to go and run and jump. Because like when you go in slowly, like Dorothy needs to do, it's kind of funny, like in most cases in life, I'm like a person that's just like full tilt, see what happens. Like if I flop, I'm going to flop. And if I swim, I swim. And then Dorothy's the opposite. She like slowly eases her way into like everything. So, but in this case, it's so much easier if you just go and run and jump in because it's not like cold. And like once you get wet and in the water, it's warm. So Dorothy's actually been doing a really good job. I think the last couple of times you just ran in there. Got to do it.
Just got to do it.
Vanda's out of here. Thanks, Vanda, for joining us. We will catch you later. Friday.
Yeah, bye, Vanda.
She said Friday.
Friday.
Katie says it's awesome, or congratulations.
That's awesome. I have a fear of deep water. I can get in, but have mini panic attacks. That was like me, hey? I would get all like, I don't know. It was just, well, I want, like I do have a dream or whatever of a goal of doing a triathlon, a real triathlon. Because I've done them in the past, but it was pool swims. And I'm like, I need to do a real one. I want to do a real triathlon in an open water swim. And Drew's like, well, you gotta have to get in the water, Dorothy.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting? Like we talk about goals, and we talk about setting goals and like setting your sights on something like a dream or something to work towards. And I think so many people are afraid to because of failure. But Dorothy's like a completely different person when she has that. But I don't think it's just Dorothy. I think it's everyone. I think like and most of us don't know. You know, we talk about if you're like, oh, I'm fine with 4 hours of sleep for someone that's never slept or haven't slept for 7 hours in 10 years. So it's completely different. So if you're a person that hasn't set a goal in like 10 years, then you don't know what it's like to want to achieve something and like strive for it. So for example, like Dorothy's a completely different person when she's working towards something. Like when she puts her mind to something, she'll do it. Like there's no question, it's going to happen. So in this case, she was like, "Oh, I want to do a triathlon."
Yeah.
She set that goal, and then she jumped in the water the next day. But it took her how many years? How many years?
A lot.
We've been coming here for like 5 years, and she would jump in. Like sometimes she would jump in here and like float around a little bit and run out.
Run out.
But
Bye. See ya.
But the most of the time it would be like knees, waist max, and never swim. So I just think it's so interesting. It's a good example, not just for Dorothy, but for everyone. Like if you were to set a goal for yourself and feel like what it's like to achieve things that you never thought you could or would, your life changes in many different ways. So I think that's interesting and worth mentioning.
And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do the biking part, but we'll figure that out later. Because I'm okay on a bike on a cruiser bike going down the strand, like the path along the beach here, like that. I've overcome that. That was something to overcome in the beginning. But I don't know, like those speedy cycling bikes scare me so much. And like in a triathlon, like you're just not cruising down the strand, you're going up and down hills and around turns, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But just like, okay, Dorothy, like just take the swimming part and get that figured out, and maybe do like a swim and a run, because you've already mastered running. So he's like, then maybe you can practice the swimming part, get that down. And they have aquathlon, so it's run. What is it? I think it's a swim and then a run, aquathlon. So maybe you sign up for one of those, and then you kind of worry about the biking part later. Because if you worry about everything, all of the parts all at once, it's very consuming, very overwhelming. But if we break it down into smaller parts, then it's more achievable.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, when Dorothy signed up for her first triathlon, she didn't know how to swim or ride a bike. Seriously, as an adult, which is kind of funny. Well, not funny, but it's like she didn't know how to do that. But she signed up and then taught herself. So she was going to swimming at like 5 in the morning, and then she didn't know how to ride a bike. These speed bikes. So I was like showing her how to ride a bike. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I have to read these comments.
Okay. Yeah. It was interesting journey. Drew was like literally holding the back of the bike seat, and I'd be like, don't let go. Don't let go. And I needed like the curb to get on the bike. Drew's probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be a disaster on race day.
Then she couldn't turn.
Oh, I couldn't turn the
She's
bike.
like, how do I turn? I'm like,
I could only go straight.
turn the wheel. Turn the wheel.
I could only go straight on my bike. I'm like, I don't know how to turn around.
Okay, let's catch up on some comments.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to like stare at this phone because the words are like this tiny on Instagram. I had a lot of people have fear of the ocean or water near beaches, and actually it's quite the deal in the 70s and 80s with the Jaws movies. Yeah, I love those movies.
I can't watch those movies because then when I'm out in the ocean swimming, that's what I'm thinking about.
Darcy says it's awesome that you conquered or started to conquer those fears.
Thank you, Darcy.
And triathlon, biking, running, no problem. Swim is the killer for me, anyway.
Yeah, I have. Running is fine for me. I've been running for years, and I'm quite confident at it now. But it's the swimming. I don't know what would be harder for me, the swimming or the biking. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Find out when you start biking.
Yeah.
Suzanne said, you want to read this one?
It was at least 15 years ago for me, and I was lucky I didn't go through that much. But when I did, my kids just stayed away from me because you never know when I was how I was going to be.
That's a very good point. Just stay away. I think that's coming from you guys. So when I go away,
disappear,
and I'm not around very often for Shark Week. That's why.
I like how you whisper it. Shark Week. Like it's a secret.
Well, then you're going to be like, are you avoiding me because it's Shark Week? No, I don't think so.
Sue says, what Dorothy is doing is the crawl. Drew's yours was the butterfly. Oh, yeah. Remember that? I used to watch...
Front crawl. What you talking about?
This one.
No.
Front crawl is this one.
Yeah, front crawl. And this is the butterfly? What's this one?
That's the butterfly.
What's this one, then?
Guys, what's this one?
You know, you go like this. I don't know.
And then this one.
I think that's the butterfly.
That's butterfly, and your legs do something crazy, don't they?
I don't know. I don't never did that one.
But I used to watch on TV, like the Olympics and things like the swimming, the diving, Summer Olympics, and I remember watching them and being probably like this.
Tell them about my magnesium.
What's in your cup, Drew?
This is magnesium. Trimag. You know what's kind of crazy? Like, yes, it's our product and we love it and we stand behind it 100%. But what are you doing?
I'm holding it up. Trimag.
Cheers. Give me this. you can put it there.
Okay.
And anyways, it's a product that we love, but it's something I look forward to every morning. Like I really like the lemon combination, actually we have got a bunch of limes, and we had a friend that grew limes in his own yard actually, and brought some limes over. So I really like the orange flavor with the lime. And then our new flavor mojito, people are really enjoying it. I think people like mojito better than the orange flavor.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm drinking, in case you guys are wondering why this funny small little glass here. But we have magnesium every morning, and I actually look forward to it. And I kind of wish it didn't go away, but you can only have so much magnesium. So I'm like, when it ends, I'm like, I wish it didn't end.
But you get more tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyways, that's our TriMeg. TriMeg is going amazing. We are, I think next week we should be in 10 retail stores in New York City, which is amazing, in Brooklyn area. And we got it at one location.
In Olds?
Yeah.
Is that the
Uptown?
Uptown Olds Massage and Wellness Clinic?
That's where you can get it
That's
now.
where you can get it now in the Olds area. But we also have a few distributors as well. We have a distributor in Didsbury, and then we have a distributor in Red Deer, and then
we're working on a couple other locations as well so you guys can pick it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, and we ship, of course, too. So if you're interested, let us know. Okay, a couple more comments on here.
Suzanne says, my younger daughter did an Ironman 2 years ago, and she had to swim in a Great Lake for the swim part. If she could do it, I know you can. Thank you.
She's going to do it. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Katie. Insurmountable. Are you talking about dealing with Shark Week? There's no pleasing us.
There's no pleasing us.
At least you're real about it. You just can't. Dorothy's pretty good. Like, I'm just kind of messing around. She could be, I'm sure she could be way worse. I'm pretty fortunate, but we do have moments.
Yeah, we do have moments. But for me, it's more the emotional side of it. I just get really, I cry. And I'm like, why am I crying? Or Drew's like, what's the matter? Why are you sad? I don't know. I'm just crying, okay?
Well, the thing is, in most cases, men are like, men are like, it's our fault. Like, oh, she's crying, it's our fault. Because any other time of the week, if it's not Shark Week, then it's like, your fault. Right? Like, it's got to be your fault. Who else's fault is it? So, you think it's something that you did. So you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Just crying. And then, like, I'm sure, like, I think most men are like, when women cry, men don't know what to do. So they're like, can't really say anything. You can't do anything. So you're like, it'll be okay. Stop touching me!
No, I don't think I get, like, super, like, cranky. I just cry.
There's some cranky in there.
There is a mix of cranky? Maybe a little mix of cranky. All the challenges involved with fears, swimming, biking, etc. That was the insurmountable.
Oh, got it.
It can feel insurmountable when you think of it all. Oh, now it clicks.
Good word, Katie.
That's right, Katie. Yeah.
Word of the day.
Think about it all at once. It's like my brain just explodes.
Yeah, that's why you got to do it one step at a time. Dorothy's like, how am I going to do this, this, and this? I'm like, okay. How about you just swim first?
Yeah.
Just swim.
Just swim.
And I think that always helps me. Like, just focus on one thing instead of thinking about all the other things that you think you have to do.
I was actually thinking back to my running yesterday. I've been I time my runs just for personal reasons, but I have a watch, and it's just helps me to self-motivate when I have my watch on and have the time and the distance. But anyway, yesterday I did some calculations to see, because my time has improved, my pace has improved. So I did some calculations to see what if I could run or did run a marathon or a half marathon at my pace, what my total time would be. And it was under 2 hours, which was really cool. So, but anyway, I was thinking back to my first half marathon, like how many years ago? Oh gosh, like so many years ago, probably like 8 years ago, my first half marathon. And I was thinking that it took me like 2.5 hours, and now I'm gonna be, my next half marathon will be under 2 hours. And I'm like, whoa, like that is so cool. But then I think about it, like I see all of these runners that are super fast, and I get a little jealous because I'm not super fast runner. But then I'm like, it took me 8 years to get my time down to under 2 hours. So they've been probably working hard for a long time to get fast. They're just not naturally fast, right? So that always makes me think about that too, is how much time and how much
You can ask Leonie how long it took her. Like, I'm sure she didn't just like start competing at like an elite level.
Yeah, that's true. That's what it always looks like though from the outside.
I think it's like that with everything, like overnight success. It's like, oh, you get like, people don't see like all the little things that have come up,
accumulate.
Like we could do, yeah, you could go back and look at anything. Like when I first put Dorothy in front of the camera, I was like, you got to do camera. Like I knew this years ago. You know what's funny is that I was doing, when I first started out, like a year in, I was doing video newsletters.
Oh yeah.
So I would set up, I had this little tiny digital camera, had no lights, it was dark, a bit blurry, and I sat there and I would read, like basically read my newsletter. Because I knew people were going, like I knew it was going to video sooner or later, and I knew people would rather watch than read. And so we've been doing videos for, like our business is at least 8 years old, just over 8 years. And I've been doing some business, like I started True Form before that, a couple years before that. But, lost my train of thought. Oh, like, so people are like, oh, you guys are people like entrepreneurs often come up to us and like, oh, I'm just starting with video. I know everyone's getting into video. How do you get so good at video? I'm like, do it for 8 years. And they're like, what? I'm not doing it for 8 years before I get good at it. I'm like, all right, then don't. That's okay. But when I first put Dorothy in front of the camera, she'd be like, it'd be like Shark Week for Dorothy.
It was so uncomfortable. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I always felt like it had to be perfect. I couldn't make any mistakes on camera. It had to be perfect. It had to be all planned out. But then once I started getting more comfortable, I realized that it wasn't about being perfect at all. It was about just being yourself. And if you make a mistake, well, on camera, well, you just keep going. It's not a big deal.
Especially if it's live, yeah.
Yeah.
John, I didn't even know you're in here, John. Thanks for joining us, John. He said he's off to work. Adios, amigos.
Hey, John. You got our Italy trip booked?
Have a good day, John. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not sure what you're saying.
I lost it. Oh, I was just saying about...
on video. Yeah.
Oh, the video and the progress.
It just takes time and effort. With anything, I think people don't realize... They don't see, like, all the effort it took behind the scenes.
Yeah. And repetition after repetition after repetition. Like, how many videos do we have? Hundreds.
Oh, thousands.
Thousands.
Or, sorry, not thousands. We have over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and we've done more. Plenty more that aren't on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, I went to this big conference, and there was, like, this big-name guy, and they're talking about how he just reached 1,000 videos. And I'm like, we got 1,000 videos? And we do. We have more, and it's like it's a big thing. Like, not many people, like, we've been doing videos since, like, we very first started. Most people are just getting into videos. So, and of course, this is a big-name person, and he did one of the keynotes, and they're talking about how he just got to 1,000, but... he's a big audience, but all the content we've put together over the years, like we've been practicing this long. It wasn't like we just started doing video and people were like, oh, you guys are pretty good. When we first started, people were like, you guys are horrible.
What are you guys thinking?
Darcy said, blooper reel, do it. And we have some.
We do have some bloopers.
People really embrace that. Darcy says, for video... The mistakes are the best. People really embrace that. Bloopers, real do it. We actually have some bloopers. We keep them. I try to keep everything.
Oh, one of my favorite bloopers of me, or of us filming, we were doing a workout video and I choked on a bug.
she ate a bug.
I ate a bug!
She's like...
Like the bug flew into my mouth. That's a fun blooper.
We have it. We save everything. And I think that's the struggle with me is like we have these external hard drives and we have a cloud, but we don't have enough space for everything. And it all costs money. So did you think it was a good idea to start eating your food when I had my food?
Yeah.
So we could both talk about food now?
Yours was looking really good, so I thought I'd have some too. Sue said, then the nut came out when you got your video chops?
That's what she said, video chops.
Yeah,
she's a nut. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm a nut.
I'm
a nut.
All right.
I'm a nut.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to wrap things up here, guys.
Yeah, we'll let you guys get on with your Friday and on with your weekend. We hope it's a good one.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. It was a fun show.
Yeah, it was a fun show. It's always interesting because we never know, like, where the show's going to go. We didn't start today thinking, oh, we're going to talk about menopause and PMS. Like, it's just, like, we just love the interaction and love hanging out with you guys and just going with the flow.
Yeah. If you guys need some magnesium, let us know. We can definitely hook you up. We have Complete Truth Protein. That's our protein supplement. It's great for digestion and helps you with the natural boost of energy. Throw it in smoothies. You can bake with it. Shoot us a message. We can ship it out wherever you are. That's something that we can help you with. And then we also have our 7-day reboot that's starting this week. So if you want to give it a shot, there's no cost. All you do is join the group and you follow along. You join awesome people and hang out with us for a week.
You just got to get your groceries, but we have to get those anyway. So you got to eat anyway. So that's the only thing you will have to purchase is your groceries.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.